I had a quick question. You said the ray of light possibly could be this bilateral investment treaty. And last week we know that the EU and China reached an agreement on the scope of a future bilateral investment treaty. And the Commission said after that agreement that a future agreement would include a high and balanced level of protection for investors and their investments. I think you can imagine what my question is, but it's clear that both the EU and the Chinese are supportive of including an ISDS mechanism in an investment treaty. And we also know that there's wide reporting that EU businesses are confronted with undue political interference in China, and yet we have very little evidence that the EU businesses in China have ever used the existing ISDS clauses inside all of the bilateral investment agreements that we have between member states and China. And we have nearly every member state has a bilateral investment agreement today with China, many and most, I think, including ISDS. The UNCTAD database says that there have only been 2 cases against China since 1982, and neither case involved the EU. Our perception is this is because of a fear of retribution from the Chinese government on any business which raised a case. So in that scenario, would it make any difference at all for business in China if ISDS was in the bilateral agreement, or does it just make the whole situation much more politically contentious and probably nearly impossible to get something through the Parliament? Be interesting to have your view.
Not in that field. The ray of light, China, the investment agreement, yes, as a matter of fact, is very strange. We all ask for it, but we never use it. And we feel safe with having it, but as you pointed out, it has been irrelevant in our European business so far in China. Well, so far means that certainly companies fear retaliation. And if you are suing the Chinese government, chances of further market penetration are virtually zero.